We are kicking off with WWE as Logan Paul has had his sights set on Jey Uso's World Heavyweight Championship since Uso captured the title from Gunther at WrestleMania and had plenty to say to kick off Raw. Paul began Raw by confidently predicting that he would dethrone Jey Uso at this weekend's Saturday night's main event, reminding fans that he's already knocked out Jey 3 times. Paul plans to do it again, but the segment took a sharp turn when Gunther made his entrance to a thunderous reaction, and though he's not a face, fans were pleased to see him. The crowd were excited at the prospect of him chopping Paul into next week, though the Ring General still faced "You tapped out" chants, as he has since WrestleMania. In a rare moment of respect, Gunther acknowledged Paul's influence beyond the ring, noting that there is much he could learn from him about social media and business. He even said that Paul holding the World Heavyweight title might be good for business, before making clear that dethroning Jey Uso is personal for him. If Logan Paul gets his way and steals that moment, Gunther warned it would be taken as a sign of disrespect, and he added, "Ask Pat McAfee how I deal with disrespectful non-wrestlers." Gunther wasn't alone, declaring that Paul's accolades would mean nothing in Phoenix on June 9th because he would eat him alive if they faced off before he exited the ring. The Maverick tried to trash talk to Gunther as he left, only to turn around and walk straight into a super kick from Jey Uso, who had some choice words of his own before ending the segment. Jey's kick to Paul was payback for main event Jey, as he returned the favor for Paul attacking him a few weeks ago at Monday Night Raw. This was a strong opening promo that underscored the growing complexity of the title scene, as Jey has to divide himself between Logan Paul and a vengeance-hungry Gunther. All the while, Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker remain looming threats, and this segment teased that a Gunther-Paul feud is something WWE can revisit, perhaps with the Austrian as a face. Paul Heyman warned Jey Uso that Bron Breakker isn't coming for the World Heavyweight Championship, but wants to disrupt the momentum Uso has been riding as of late. Reflecting on what happened earlier in the show, Paul said that whether it was Jey, Logan Paul, or Gunther, whoever holds the gold would be a transitional champion for Seth Rollins. Later in the show, Rollins confronted Paul backstage and showed his manipulative skills as he played mind games with the #1 contender for the world title. Rollins steered Paul towards the title picture, seeing the Maverick as the easiest person to beat for the gold between Paul, Jey Uso, or Gunther. It's not hard to see why Rollins would think this, as Logan is the only one of the 3 to not hold a world title, and a man Seth knows he can beat, as he did just that at WrestleMania 39. This was a brilliant character beat that fits Rollins' evolving persona to a T, and later in the show, Sami Zayn vowed to have Jey's back at Saturday night's main event. Sami will stand guard against Rollins, Heyman, Breakker, or anyone else who tries to sway the match in Paul's favor, though one has to wonder when Sami's desire to be a champion will resurface. In the latest showdown between the two, World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso battled Bron Breakker in non-title action, and Breakker dominated early and often in this contest. Breakker used his superb athleticism to control the pace and was able to cut off every attempt at a comeback from Jey with his raw power and fury. One instance saw Breakker send both himself and Jey over the announce table ahead of a commercial break, but Uso proved that he wouldn't go down without a fight. A sit-out powerbomb coming out of the corner allowed for Jey to get a near fall and create some separation, and this match earned "This is awesome" chants from the crowd. Uso and Breakker have undeniable in-ring chemistry, and while seeing them headline Raw was great, it'd be better to see it play out longer as a PLE main event as well. Breakker attempted to use a chair but was thwarted by Jey, though Paul Heyman responded by tripping up the World Heavyweight Champion. Rollins arrived to cause the DQ and a 2-on-1 beatdown, and when Sami arrived to make the save, he was hesitant about getting in the ring with the two heels by himself. CM Punk's music played, and he arrived to even the numbers for Zayn, and the crowd reaction was out of this world for Punk as the fans chanted his Cult of Personality theme song. A brawl ensued, spilling to the arena floor as the show faded to black, giving one last bit of hype before the tag team match at Saturday night's main event. At least, that's where fans thought the show would end, as Logan Paul would come out of nowhere to hit a right-hand KO shot to Uso, giving Paul the edge ahead of their title match. This was a strong match with a fun brawl and an exclamation point with Paul's attack, and was the rightful main event of the Go Home Raw before this Saturday night's main event. Uso has learned how difficult it is to go from hungry challenger to hunted champion in another great development in Raw's top story that is hitting on all cylinders. Questions remain about the future of the Wyatt Six, and while it's unclear when they'll be back, Uncle Howdy was recently spotted, albeit without his mask. In a photo shared online, Bo Dallas can be seen showing his softer side as he shared the camera with his nephew Nash, the son of his brother Bray Wyatt. Nash is dressed in Fiend gear to pay honor to his late father, and the photo was taken by the mother of JoJo Offerman, who had been engaged to Wyatt prior to his passing in 2023. We don't know when Uncle Howdy and the faction will be back, but Bo Dallas is clearly making the most out of his time away from the squared circle. On SmackDown last week, Alexa Bliss secured the first spot in the women's Money in the Bank match, winning a triple threat against Michin and Chelsea Green. On this week's Raw, more qualifying matches took place to fill the remaining slots, with the men's qualifying matches set to take place next week. In the first of two triple threat matches, Roxanne Perez faced off against Natalya and Becky Lynch, and prior to the show, Adam Pearce shared that Perez had officially joined Raw. After the match begun, Lynch deceived Perez into thinking they would work together, only to pull her back by the hair and focus her attack on Natalya. Perez fought back, often by taking on both veterans simultaneously, and there was a "Let's Go Roxy" chant among the crowd, a clear sign that fans want to see her succeed as a Raw talent. The Prodigy was always looking for chances to seal the victory in this fast-paced and competitive match that gave all three women time to shine. Natalya locked in a double sharpshooter on the pair of former NXT Women's Champions, but couldn't force either to tap, and late in the match, Lyra Valkyria got involved. The Valkyrie arrived by stopping Lynch from securing the win after hitting Natalya with a manhandle slam, and she and Lynch would brawl at ringside. Perez capitalized by hitting Pop Rocks on Natalya to get the victory and punching her ticket to the June 7th Premium Live event in Los Angeles. The finish tied into the feud between Lynch and Valkyria, who seemed destined for another clash over the Women's Intercontinental Championship in a Backlash rematch. Meanwhile, Perez earns her first opportunity at the Money in the Bank briefcase and the title shot it offers, and has to be considered a dark horse favorite in the match. Now, if only WWE could find a meaningful direction for Natalya, who had a well-received appearance at Bloodsport in April, and for the NWA this past weekend. To say that there's been tension within the Judgment Day for the last few months would be understating it. The issues have been adding up, with Dominic Mysterio and Finn Bálor at the center. Both stars wanted to change how things were done, while Bálor wanted recognition as the group leader. With no Liv Morgan on Raw, he decided to take advantage. After qualifying for the women's Money in the Bank match earlier in the night, Perez was backstage with Finn Bálor, Dominic Mysterio, Raquel Rodriguez, Carlito, and JD McDonagh. While Bálor was quick to clarify that Perez isn't officially part of the Judgment Day, he hinted that she could still play a useful role within the group, saying she's here to help. Perez played the role of supportive ally, even handing out personalized gifts, including chicken tendies for Dominic and an apple for Carlito, in a nod to his "I spit in the face" gimmick. Liv Morgan was not in the segment, as she was away after filming a movie that wrapped over the weekend, and Finn suggested that Perez may be able to help Liv and Raquel as tag team champions. With Perez now circulating around one of WWE's most powerful groups, speculation is mounting as to if this leads to something bigger, or if she is simply keeping her options open. In the second women's Money in the Bank qualifying match on Raw, Kairi Sane faced Zoey Stark and Rhea Ripley in a high-stakes qualifying triple threat match. This match marked the return of Sane's beloved pirate princess persona, complete with her signature telescope and gold coins, an homage to the popular character from her NXT run. Earlier in the match, though, things changed dramatically when Zoey Stark appeared to suffer a knee injury as she went down clutching her leg, visibly in pain. Stark flew off the ropes in an attempted missile dropkick on Sane, but landed badly, and her knee bent at an awkward angle in the opposite direction it should bend. Stark dropped to the canvas and clutched her knee in pain, and the camera stayed on her for a while before focusing on Rhea Ripley in the corner before moving to the briefcases above the ring. During the commercial break, the star was left screaming in pain as the match was paused. Stark couldn't put weight on her knee. The doctor ran into the ring to check on her as she continued crying, leaving Rhea Ripley and Kairi Sane looking very scared and worried. The doctor ended up helping her out of the ring, and then, when she could not walk, he carried her to the back, lifting her entirely off the ground. This footage has raised concern among fans, especially as this isn't the first time Stark has faced a major setback. She was out of action for 9 months after tearing her ACL and meniscus in November 2021 and would return in July 2022 to the brand. During her time away, Stark was working as a producer on the brand while rehabbing her injury, and back to this week, the match was forced to continue without her. WWE has yet to confirm the severity of her injury, but this turned the match into a one-on-one showdown between two competitors who had never battled in singles action. Despite the sudden change to plans, they delivered a solid encounter, with Ripley receiving one of the loudest responses on the night and came across as a huge star, as expected. Sane held her own, landing stiff strikes but missing a spinning back fist, which allowed Ripley to connect with a headbutt and finish with the Riptide. The outcome made sense, as Ripley's win keeps her momentum going as she continues her pursuit of the women's world title, while Sane has time to re-establish her popular character. According to PW Insider, Zoey Stark was originally slated to take the pinfall, but due to an unexpected injury, WWE made an on-the-fly decision to have Kairi Sane take the fall instead, a move that's entirely understandable after the circumstances. Rhea Ripley now joins Alexa Bliss and Roxanne Perez in the 2025 Women's Money in the Bank match, already a star-studded lineup for the event. Finn Bálor and JD McDonagh of the Judgment Day picked up a key victory on Raw Monday night, defeating Penta and AJ Styles thanks to the interference of El Grande Americano. The masked man intervened at a critical moment, grabbing Penta by the back of his head and delivering a headbutt with the concealed steel plate in Americano's mask. From a storyline perspective, this outcome furthers the ongoing feud between El Grande Americano and Penta, with many believing that Rey Fenix will reunite with his brother soon. At the same time, this gives the Judgment Day a timely win, especially over a major name like AJ Styles, who remains a serious threat to Dominic Mysterio's Intercontinental Championship run. In terms of match quality, this was a strong showing as both teams showed excellent chemistry and blended spots seamlessly to deliver a red-hot match. Speaking of red hot, McDonagh's chest was 50 shades of red after a series of chops by Penta, each one causing him to throw aimless punches in a fun moment in the commercial break. There was a scary spot where Penta leapt off the steps to hit a Mexican destroyer on JD while outside of the ring, which earned a huge pop from fans. Shockingly though, before the match began, AJ Styles had the jobber entrance as he was just in the ring when the match began, and it wasn't even his theme song that was playing. Do you see this as a subtle insult or disrespect by WWE toward a veteran like AJ Styles? It's also worth mentioning that Dominic Mysterio was yet again not at ringside for a match with his Judgment Day allies as WWE continues to tease tensions within the faction. While this was a tease of storyline progression, WWE could have done much more with this match, as given AJ's issues with the Judgment Day, having Dom come out would have made sense. There could have also been something more between Bálor and Styles given their history in and out of WWE, and while this match delivered in action, it wasn't all it could have been. One more point of concern is Penta, who has already taken multiple losses since his debut. Continuing that pattern could seriously impact his credibility. Do you agree? Sound off in the comments below. 2 weeks after Austin Theory battled a returning Sheamus, it was Theory's tag partner Grayson Waller who had the unenviable task of trying to beat the Celtic Warrior. Despite being unmatched, Waller put up a solid fight and hung in there with the former world champion while succeeding in antagonizing the fans watching. Waller mocked the 10 beats of the Bron to the anger of Sheamus, who paid him back with the move ahead of the finish. Late into the match, Sheamus punished the Aussie icon and Theory prevented his tag team partner from taking the easy way out before Sheamus got the win with a brogue kick. Theory's actions were intentional and his partnership with Waller is nearing its end, and between these developments and a solid performance in the ring, the segment worked. Theory earned some huge chants following Waller's sucks chants, and there were some big moments in the match, including a scary spot on the ring apron. Sheamus caught Waller up on the ropes, and it's unclear if this is what he was intending, as the Australian landed awkwardly as Waller tried to grab the rope. Fortunately, Waller was okay though, and now appears that his relationship with Austin Theory may be truly beyond repair. Following a string of brutal assaults and a punishing accolade from a returning Rusev, Otis was left seriously injured, and Akira Tozawa was also taken out of action during the chaos. Now medically cleared for action, Tozawa is set to face Rusev next week on Raw after receiving the green light from Adam Pearce. However, in a shocking announcement, Chad Gable revealed that Otis's wrestling career has officially come to an end. According to Gable, the 33-year-old was hurt so badly he's been forced to step away from in-ring competition, though in reality, Otis is perfectly fine as this is part of the storyline. Gable didn't stop there. He issued a chilling warning that Tozawa's career will be next, declaring that next week's match will mark the end of his run as well. The New Day will also put their tag team titles on the line against the Creed brothers and the War Raiders in what will be an epic triple threat match with three immensely talented teams. In a backstage segment with Logan Paul, fans will have spotted Grayson Waller speaking with the New Day, and could A-Town Down Under help Kingston and Woods next week? If so, it could earn the pair a shot at the World Tag Team titles, and perhaps the last hope the pair have of mending the A-Town Down Under tag team. Next week's Raw will also focus on the men's Money in the Bank qualifiers, and while it's unclear who will compete, Chad Gable was trying to get Adam Pearce to have a spot for American Made. Indiana Pacer Tyrese Halliburton appeared via satellite on Raw to share that he is coming to WWE 2K25 and spoke about the rivalry between the Pacers and Knicks. Halliburton, a known wrestling fan, compared the feud to The Rock vs. Steve Austin and said that he's excited to be a part of the rivalry in a segment that lasted like 10 minutes. This felt like something that could have been posted to social media instead. Those nearly 10 minutes could have been better spent showcasing actual Raw stars like Karrion Kross, Ludwig Kaiser, Bayley, or Dragon Lee in the LWO. Another mistake from WWE was making a former world champion wait nearly 10 minutes before his match even began. Sheamus came out ready to face Grayson Waller, but what followed felt like a complete misstep in segment planning. Instead of going straight to the match, fans were met with an extended string of unrelated content, starting with a recap of Michael Cole vs. John Cena from over a decade ago. That was followed by a backstage segment featuring Adam Pearce granting Akira Tozawa a match against Rusev next week, then Chad Gable and Ivy Nile running into Alpha Academy before demanding Money in the Bank spots. Finally, the New Day appeared to promote next week's triple threat tag team match. By the time the actual bell rang, Sheamus, a multi-time world champion and one of WWE's most accomplished veterans, had been standing in the ring for nearly 10 minutes waiting for the spotlight he already earned. It's one thing to build anticipation for a marquee match, it's another to treat a top-tier talent like filler between promos. Was this poor pacing or a deep issue of how WWE views its veterans? And that was Raw, and what did you think of the show? Let us know in the comments. Over to AEW, and the Dark Order, comprised of Evil Uno, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds, has struggled to maintain a constant presence on TV, a far cry from where they once were. Despite being a part of AEW since the start, the group has not been featured in recent months, and 2 years after re-signing, the Dark Order's future remains uncertain. During a recent Fightful Select Q&A, Sean Ross Sapp was asked whether Tony Khan had any creative plans for the trio, and his response didn't offer much help. I haven't heard of any significant creative plans featuring Dark Order for quite some time. That can always change from week to week. I do wish they and other undercard tag teams and trios were featured more. Sapp's comments suggest the Dark Order has fallen off AEW's creative radar, leaving fans to wonder whether the faction will get another chance to shine or remain on the sidelines. Do you think the Dark Order deserves a more prominent role in AEW, or is their time in the spotlight over? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Last week, Darby Allin successfully climbed Mount Everest, and before his climb, he declared that he wanted to put an AEW flag on the summit. On Instagram this week, Allin proved to be a man of his word as he shared the photo of the AEW flag at the top of Mount Everest and was grateful for the Sherpa team that helped him in the climb. Originally, AEW hoped that Allin would be back in time for Double or Nothing, but with the climb taking longer than planned, many believe this won't be happening. With that said, fans know not to count out anything when it comes to Darby Allin, and after this incredible accomplishment, fans can expect the AEW star back in the ring soon enough. And we're ending with Sabu, who passed away in May 2025, and now his life and legacy will be explored with a powerful new documentary from Back Row Studios. The first official teaser trailer for Sabu has been released, offering an emotional glimpse into the life, rise, resilience, and final days of one of wrestling's most influential figures. The doc is produced by Rob Van Dam and directed by Joe Clark, and chronicles Sabu's storied career in the ring, as well as the personal struggles that defined his journey. Sabu follows the hardcore legend all the way to his final match, which came mere weeks before his death at the age of 60. The teaser also highlights Sabu reflecting on the toll his career has had on his body, as well as the passion that fueled him to put his body on the line to entertain the fans. A voiceover says that Sabu's tale is a story of passion, pain, and the ultimate price of living life on the edge, giving fans a tease as to what to expect. RVD worked with Clark previously on the Headstrong documentary, and it's fitting that he's back to help his friend Sabu have one final goodbye in this upcoming documentary.